What's up, everybody? Today we're going to go over the steps to turn a very simple but very hip pattern into unlimited language that we can use for improvisation. We're going to be working with this pattern. I first learned this pattern from John Coltrane's solo on the Cole Porter tune, I Love You. But it's really just foundational language, constructed from ascending thirds with lower chromatic neighbors, which is just the fancy music theory speak for the note a half step below. First, we're going to just go over the steps to learn the pattern, and then we're going to look at utilizing it over the chord progression to There Is No Greater Love, which is a great standard for working out your vocabulary because it has major 2/5s, minor 2/5s, it has movement by half steps, and it has movement by fourths. So it's just a great workout. Also, the first two chords, going from the 1 to the dominant 4, is a lot like the first two bars of a blues. So anything that you're working on in this tune, you can apply it there as well. Let's start with the pattern itself. So in concert B flat, we're going to start on the root, go down a half step, back to the root, and then up a third. And we're just going to repeat that on every chord tone. It's always down a half step from the note in the scale. That's what makes it chromatic, lower neighbor, and not diatonic. And then we can play a 16th note line anywhere that we would have played this 8th note thirds pattern before. Instead of ba ba da ba da, now we have ba da da ba ba da. So it's more exciting. It's like nice connective tissue between other licks and other scale and arpeggio type of vocabulary. It's busy, but in a good way. It adds interest to those lines. One caveat here is that you need to really master this technically in 12 keys eventually, if you want to be able to actually use it over every tune. Like, let's say, oh, well, I don't play any tunes in the key of F sharp. You might play a tune in the key of D major, which has a B minor as the 6th chord, and you're going to want to know how to play that secondary dominant, which would be F sharp 7. So you're going to want to know this pattern in F sharp. So every key, when you learn a pattern, when you learn a lick, learn it in all 12 keys so that you can actually use it. Because you don't have to go into a hard key to need access to that language in those keys. So take your time learning it. Now let's try this pattern over the first few chords of There Is No Greater Love. So we could start on the root, moving from the root to the third, but I'm going to demonstrate going from the third of each chord to its 5th. So over the first chord, concert B flat, going from D natural to F natural. Then over the second chord, going from concert G to concert B flat. And so on. So we'll do this over the entire A section. Now ultimately you want to practice this going from the root to the 3rd, to the 5th, to the 7th, to the 9th, to be able to move freely up any of the chords with this pattern. The only thing we have to change over the bridge is which scales we're using. We're not using major scales over a minor chord. So over D7 flat 9, the 5 chord, I'm going to play the 5th mode of G harmonic minor, also called Phrygian dominant. So just play your G harmonic minor scale, but starting on the D. Then over the G minor chord itself, I'm going to use G melodic minor, which is like the major scale but with a lowered third. That way we still have the leading tone and the natural 6 in our pattern. Once you can use the pattern within chords, you want to practice using it to connect chords. And a great way to do that is to utilize the guide tones, which is connecting the 3rd of one chord to the 7th of the next, or the 7th to the 3rd of the next. And this is pretty universal if you haven't run into this concept of guide tones or guide tone lines. The root of good voice leading, no pun intended, is to connect thirds and sevenths. Now when a chord moves by half step, like from concert A flat 7 to G7, we're not going to go seventh to third, we're just going to go down half step. So, but if we're looking at movement by fourths or 2-5-1 patterns that kind of shows up everywhere, guide tone lines are going to go third, seventh, third, seventh, third, and they go down usually. So for example, we can connect the D in the first chord to the D flat in the second chord. That's third to seventh connection. Hey, really quick, go ahead and like this video and leave a comment letting me know what you think. Once you're using the pattern to connect harmony, the only thing left to do is to integrate it with your scales, with other scalar and arpeggio language and other licks that you know, in order to make it sound less like an exercise and have it just be part of your tool set when you're moving through harmony, just to have another thing that you can play that adds, again, it adds texture, it's that chromaticism. Coltrane used this pattern a lot for a reason. It's great. Hey, real quick, I want to share a product that has actually made my life as a musician easier, which is this awesome folding music stand from Kraftgeek. What's up, everybody? I am loving the new capsule music stand from Kraftgeek. It's light, stable, and very well designed. From the solid and sleek one-piece build to the adjustable sheet music clips, this was clearly engineered from the ground up by someone who understood all the flaws in older style portable music stands. Starting with setup, no more flimsy levers or two parts to assemble. The top unfolds with a quarter turn of a knob, and even if you forget to tighten it, the bottom won't swing out because it fits perfectly into the top. Then another quarter turn releases these wider, stabler legs, which also feature rubber pads to protect those wooden floors when you're playing in a nice venue or a church or something like that. What about height adjustment? Stand telescopes with one hand, nothing to unlock, and it was strong enough to hold up a full-size music textbook or iPad. Fully extended, it gets much taller than my other stands. I'm almost 7 feet tall, and even I wouldn't need a stand to be any taller than this. My favorite feature is these clips. Totally windproof, and they also hold even thicker books open to the right page. The top bar slides up and down for smaller and larger pages. In addition to books and sheet music, the optional device holder screws right into the top of the stand and supports every device size from a phone up to a 13-inch iPad Pro, which is 8.5 inches wide. I also like to attach this to the bottom of the stand to use my phone's metronome and tuner apps. If you're interested in upgrading to the ultimate portable music stand, use code JulianBrazon15 at checkout with the link in the description, and never worry about your sheet music blowing away again. As always, I am available for online lessons from anywhere in the world, or if you happen to be located in New York, I do teach out of a home studio here. Get in touch with me at julianbrazon@gmail.com if you're interested in furthering your musical education journey with private lessons. Or if you're not ready to commit to full-on private lessons, I also offer text-based lessons where you can send me recordings of your playing, ask questions, and it's a much more affordable way to get some one-on-one help and advice for your playing, whether that's jazz improv on any instrument or saxophone specifically. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Once again, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to see more educational content like this. I try to break things down really simple, and let me know what you want to hear about next. Thank you.